What is up, everybody? I'm back with another video, and today we are going to be looking at what I eat in a day. I've done a couple of these in the past, but I've been leaning more towards a raw diet if you've been watching some of my previous videos. And it is time to show you kind of what I've changed and what's going on exactly. It is Sunday this was a Sunday, and I started off with some apricots, those bananas, those tomatoes, and then I made this spinach drink. I made another video about this drink. One of the most delicious things I've made, and it's so simple. Go check it out. Link will be in the description if you haven't. But yeah, this is what I had for breakfast. And like I said, it was a Sunday, which is why I had breakfast. A lot of times I won't. If I'm doing a fast, I'll just start eating at, around noon or 11. But here today, this is what I had for breakfast. And then, I went ahead and I put together some kale, as you can see here, and I'm basically preparing this for what I will be having later tonight. So I'm making some raw kale chips in a dehydrator. I'm using some hemp seeds, Celtic sea salt, nutritional yeast, and I soaked some sunflower seeds. So boom shakalaka, we'll put that up in there, and I blend that. Oh yeah, I did put a spoonful of that coconut oil that you saw there. And I ended up having to add more water. And finally we got that batter. So that's what I used for the kale chips. Yeah. And I'll be using this extra kale for my lunch, if you will. I'll be making a smoothie, so I decided I'd use this last bit of kale and throw that in my smoothie. So I'm gonna get those in the dehydrator. Let's move straight on to what I had in this smoothie. So this is like my lunch. I usually have this every day for lunch, and it consists of 3 different kinds of frozen fruits, water, and that kale, spinach sometimes, and as you can see I have this raw protein powder and this cacao powder, which is also raw, and it also actually does contain a little bit of protein. So this is kind of my go-to when I really want to feel satisfied, because it's got a lot of nutrients from the cacao powder. Supposedly it's one of the most nutrient-dense foods known to man. That's what my daddy told me. And we got a lot of kale, we got a lot of fruits, and oh no.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
So yeah, we got a lot of good stuff, and here I went ahead and topped it. Again, mulberries, goji berries, hemp seeds. We got nuts, we got seeds, those are walnuts. And this is usually what I have every lunch, and it's got everything. It's got a lot of protein, it's got vitamins, it's got those fruits, it's the goji berries are it's a superfood, so it's got a bunch of antioxidants. Here you're seeing me finish it off. Usually, and actually a lot of times I'll make 2 full bowls, but Justine, she took some, so I only got that much on the second bowl. And here's my dehydrated carrots coming along pretty darn good, wouldn't you say? Yeah. I got a little bit hungry. At this moment, it was around 1 o'clock, so I decided to put some avocados and some toast. Now, toast these days has been the only thing that's not so much raw, and this is obviously store-bought, but as you can see, the ingredients are pretty pure. There's no refined sugars, and that's kind of really one thing going into this more raw diet, I guess you could say. I've really been trying to stray away from white flour, trying to stray away from any refined sugars, and I gotta tell you, I'm feeling a lot better. As you can see, there's 1% of gluten or less. I usually tend to try to find a gluten-free option just because. So here's the finishing little snack. So I have these 2 pieces of bread. I got 1 date, so half on each bread, with half of an avocado on each bread, and then I just drizzled some hemp seeds over both, and this is a delicious snack. I also have this quite often, and actually these days, past couple days, I'm looking into some raw versions of the bread. So then I can even, I'm leaning towards even more of a raw diet. So by this time, it's about 5 o'clock. My kale chips are dehydrated, as you can see. I sprinkled a little bit of Himalayan Himalayan salt on there just to give it a little bit more of that salty goodness. It was a little bit bland. And so this is what I had. It doesn't look like that much, but when you dehydrate the food, it really gets condensed. So next I guess you could say this is like a little dessert after my kale salad, dehydrated salad or whatever. But this is hemp seed, 2 more pieces of that same bread, and I've got a Nutella spread, which is raw. Watch out for my next coming video because I'm making a recipe on this, what I created here, and I'm telling you, it's delicious. It's really, really delicious. No refined sugars, 4 ingredients. So, anyways, as you can see there, Josie, she cooked me up some soup. She cooked up the family some soup. So I went ahead and I said, you know what? Let's have some soup. So this component is really the first thing that is a cooked food. It's not raw, obviously. Other than the bread. And so I went ahead and I added some broccoli to the soup, and this is raw. So just to give it a little bit more of that raw component. I'm really enjoying eating raw, to be honest. The more that I eat it, the more I tend to look for more raw recipes and try to take the components that I'm using that aren't raw and turning them into a raw version, like the bread, for example. So it's really cool. I'm seeing how I feel. Again, it's very unusual for a raw diet to be consumed as an athlete, as a high-performance athlete. So again, I'm seeing how I'm feeling, and we're just going to see how it goes day by day. But so far, again, I've been adding in more raw components, taking out those cooked foods, and I am feeling great. And I am continuing to get stronger and feel stronger. My shoulder, my pains, my aches and pains as a figure skater, as a high performance athlete, which is not uncommon, is going well. So that's it for today. Click on that video if you want to see my previous video where I actually, for the first time, got my dehydrator and made a kale chip recipe. So that's pretty cool. Check that out. Nonetheless, you guys probably bored hearing my voice by now, so I will end it here, and I hope everyone gets out there and just has a great day, because it's a beautiful day here in Montreal today, and as anywhere else in the world, right? Alright, thanks guys, peace.